and welcome to our crafting session today. It is Monday the 3rd of March 2025. My name's Jenny McCormac. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that's here in the UK. Thank you very much for joining me. It's a beautiful sunny morning this morning, so I only have a little bit of additional lighting and hopefully we won't have too many shadows. Our latest stamp set of the week is this one here that you can see. It's called Beautiful Butterflies. It consists of a stamp set, but there is also a coordinating set of dies and an embossing folder that come as a complete bundle. The stamp set itself is £23 and the bundle is £56.50. But let me show you what you get in the bundle itself. So in the bundle you get the stamp set, which is photopolymer, and then you get a whole series of dies. So we have the large butterfly, which has a die to cut it out, and then these two butterflies which also have dies to cut them out, some useful little dots, some excuse me, elements here for stamping in the wings, and then some nice sentiments. Time to celebrate, in case you need me I'm here, there's a happy birthday, thankful, for you, and hello. They're bigger than you see on the front of the stamp case. There are a whole set of dies that go with this, and we've been using this for our February class in a box. I'm going to try not to lose any of these on the way. So let me just pop these off, then I know I've got all of them. So there are 12 dies in total, plus an embossing folder. So we have a separate butterfly die, which is this one here, that cuts out a detailed butterfly. Morning Caroline, morning Catherine. And excuse me, then when we have a large body, these ones are cutting out the elements from the stamp set. We then have two smaller butterflies with their bodies, like so. There are two like sentiment strips, and then we have a larger butterfly that cuts out the stamped element, and then we have this one too that cuts out a hinge butterfly, so you could actually make a card out of this because the section here is cut out but not the bits at the top, it's just scored, so you get a perfect butterfly shaped card. I'll be showing you that later this week. And then there is also an embossing folder. I put it behind here, but actually not sure, with the light you can see much of it, but it has a very large butterfly here and then the smaller ones. But the clever thing about this is that this die fits in there, so you can put a piece of card through that, run the whole thing through the embossing machine, and you will get an embossed and die cut butterfly. It's really, really stunning. Alternatively, just use it as an embossing folder, and then you can pick out which element of that you want in the card. It's a 6 inches by 6 inch, so 15 centimetre square embossing folder, so it will require one excuse me, of the large machines to use it. So a really fantastic set, and I've had great fun using it for our coffee and card. this month. Now let me put all of those away before I lose any. Today we're just going to be stamping. Not lose any bodies. There we go. So this is what I'm going to recreate. Maybe I'll probably stick to the same colours, to be honest, because they're at hand. So I'm just going to use this large butterfly and Time to Celebrate. I'm going to stamp in espresso. You could stamp in black. And I'm going to stamp on a standard layer. So for me, this is 9.5 by 13.85. Now I decided my early espresso ink pads were a little bit light. So, oops. So I re-inked them this morning, and now I think they're a little bit too juicy. Let me grab a spoon or a bone folder and get rid of some of that excess. Just smoothing it out. I literally just did it about 9 o'clock this morning. Okay, so I just added some refill to that. I think what I'm going to do is, I just need to stamp that off. Because if it's too wet, it will take a little bit longer to dry. And I'm using Blends pen, so I don't want to wait too long. Okay. That's certainly a better colour. Okay, let's try that. That's better. I could tell immediately that it was too much ink in one place. It went all bubbly on the stamp, and you can also hear it. Okay, that's a bit better. Alright, so you could have this in the middle and put a sentiment across there. You could have it on one side or the other. I think maybe I will put it in the middle just for something different. And just see, I've missed a little bit there, I think. So I hope everybody is well and had a good weekend. We had lovely weather here at the weekend. There we go. So let's hope spring is well and truly on its way. I noticed in the woods on Saturday that there are lots of bluebells coming up through the ground. So it's a really nice, as you can see, detailed stamp. Let me just see. Oh yes, 6th generation. Yes, Blackberry Bliss is a, funny enough, when I was designing this I thought Blackberry Bliss would be a perfect colour for that. So yeah, good plan. I must dig that out and make sure I take it with me. Okay, so for this one I think I'm going to, I've got the little dots, so I might dot some dots around, but put a sentiment. Oh, we have got a hello. Maybe I'll pop that in the middle. Now obviously you could also use these smaller ones, or a large one and smaller ones. I'm just keeping it nice and simple for a Monday morning. So let's do the hello first. And let's just re-ink this. I don't think I've used this hello. It's perfect. So let's pop that in there. Like so. Hopefully you can see that all right. And then I will add some of these nice little dots. So a really nice detail here. and I'm going to stamp that in Berry Burst, I think. And just pop some of these around like so. Sort of mimicking those wings, really, like that. Okay, this is going to be layered onto a Berry Burst piece of card that measures 10 centimeters by 14.35, and that's going to go onto a card like so. Let's pop one of those butterflies on the inside as well, and then I'll do a quick amount of colouring in. That one there is perfect. And we are done. Now Wink of Stella, I think, will be our friend today, adding a little bit of sparkle. Okay. Just going to pop this in this corner here, and I'll also pop one on the envelope as well. Alright, just a quick bit of colouring in then. Those layers are going to go together, and I've just got a selection of pinks. Excuse me just while I have a quick drink. I'm trying to stop myself from coughing automatically. It's become sort of part and parcel, so I'm desperately trying not to cough when I'm live in the mornings. Okay, let's go. So I've just got a selection. I've got light fresh freesia, I've got bubble bath, I've got a bit of Berry Burst. So I mean, the nice things about butterflies is you can make them really any colours that you want. So I've used espresso, and as long as it's dry it won't run the ink. Just be careful when you use Wink of Stella. If you use the Wink of Stella on the early espresso area, it may well, because it's a water-based ink, it may well pick up some of the espresso, and you don't want to muddy the rest of your butterfly. So let's see, so this is not exactly a mirror image. It's similar but not exact. Let's just go a little bit darker here. So you could do a lovely stained glass window effect with really bright colours for this. I think this would be stunning, and also in yellows and oranges would be lovely. I have to say that pinks were to hand, and that's the only reason why this is pink. So I'm just doing this in a sort of block segment, but you could do as much or as little combination of colours. And this would be nice, just think about it, to add, you could add a vellum layer. You could cut out with the die a vellum layer of this and pop it on top. I think that would be really effective. Let me see, I've got a very light Blackberry Bliss. So just slightly different to the Berry Burst, it's a bit more of a plummy colour. So this is where it would be useful to have a speed up option when I'm recording, but yeah. Let's see, that one. And those two, like so. And then I've got light bubble bath again. No, for the first time, sorry. I'm going to do this for those middle 3 parts of the wings. So a warm welcome to anybody who has joined us since the start. Sorry, I haven't got my mobile next to me, so I can't see everybody who's joined. So just to let you know, I'm not ignoring you. This is Dark Bubble Bath. There we go. And I guess if you know your butterflies or you look them up, you could do them a little bit more of a realistic colour option. But we'll go with this. A little bit at the bottom. So coming up in March we have Mother's Day right at the end, and Easter is in April this year. There we go. So there's my finished bit of colouring, and then the last thing for that is to add some Winker Stella, which reminds me, I think I better put a new Winker Stella pen in. Okay, so just remember that this can pick up some of the ink, so just be careful. Every so often what you could do is just run the Winker Stella on a scrap piece of paper. I'm just keeping to the darker pieces for the time being, but also you could do the whole thing. You could also then add some sequins onto that, or some bling. So let's just layer this up, keeping this simple. I have some glue here, so a thin layer all the way around, not too close to the edge but not too far away either. That's it, and that's going to go onto our card. And job is done. And I'm pretty sure I've got some sequins that will match, or some bling that will match that. Just see if they're to hand. Could be asking rather a lot. Perfect. Okay, so I've got these which are assorted, so there's white and then there's shades of pink, including Berry Burst. So let's just pop some of those on. There we go. So they're in different sizes for each one. Let's put one there, and so these are the smaller ones. one up here. There we go. All done and dusted. I think you can see just a little bit of the shine on there. Let me just see what Catherine's written. Yes, blues would be nice too. Yes, and yes, a vellum, a piece of vellum on the top would be nice. What you'd have to watch with the vellum is attaching it, because you're going over a dark area. But I guess what you could do is, if you cut the vellum out and then cut a body in espresso, you could put the body on top, and that would actually hold it in place. So tempted to do it. Shall I try? If I could find some vellum, would be good. There we go. I'm just going to try it and see. I don't normally for our first session of the week, but why not? Right, let's find. And the body. Let's just cut that little piece there. Now this should fit through the mini one. So let's try Catherine's idea. Right. So this is just the outline. I'm just using the mini, which is our little desktop one. Okay, and let's cut out a body. Now, is espresso, do we think, or pink? Hope I've cut that long enough. I have. Right, let's pop that through. Okay. There we are. My cheats way of getting them out of the die. Doesn't always work. I did. There we go. Now I could have embossed that as well. I would have had to use the big machine. But I'm thinking like that. Okay. So I'm going to put a line of glue in that centre. Like so. And I'm just going to give that 10 seconds or so. I like the way Caroline says, yes, do it please. Okay, so I'm just giving that a little bit of time, and then I'm going to place this on top. Now there is a little bit of a border around it. Okay. Right, and then this is going to go on the top. That will bring the definition back. And again, I'm going to put a little bit on. And then just give it 10 seconds or so. And then this is going to go on the top, so basically to cover up the glue. It's not going to hold it down anymore because it's just sitting on top of the vellum. So I'm just being careful not to move it. There we go. What do we think? Pretty. It gives that element of movement, doesn't it? I just want to lift this up because I feel like it's sort of hidden my butterfly a little bit. There we go. There we are. With a vellum addition. Makes it a little bit more special, doesn't it? So you could certainly use the embossing folder and emboss the vellum and cut it out, and that would give you the detail as well, but I think that works really well. Okay, so thank you so much. Right, let me put those away before I lose them, because there's a few more I need to cut for our class in a box. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. Let's find the original one. This is my original one before I re-inked my early espresso. So just stamped in espresso, coloured in and added some dots. And then this was our stepped up version already. So exactly the same thing, but I added the vellum layer on top for a little bit of interest. You could also use colour on some patterned paper, and I can just see that my video has stopped, so apologies for that. Just in time. It was playing up a little this morning, so I'm glad it's lasted this long. So thank you everybody, do take care, and I look forward to catching up with you later. You can join me on Wednesday for some new online exclusive products, and Thursday evening for some stepped up versions of beautiful butterflies. Thank you so much. Bye for now.